Day 7, and the entire day it's gonna be like this. Luckily, we have 16 kilometers to do under this rain. C'est un défi, quoi. This town, Saint-Pierre, so far, that was my favorite place to stop at. It had such a beautiful energy. And yesterday at dinner, we talked specifically about the serendipity. We talked about all these interesting situations and stories when things aligned in a way, or a lot of coincidences which are not really coincidences. I think on the Camino it's never a coincidence. And we shared our stories when the things just strangely aligned together. The host, Eric, the host of the place, he said that this place has a very interesting energy, very spiritual. And voila, so the dinner yesterday was amazing people, amazing stories. Day 7, and I start the day with a heart. It means ça va bien aller. I'm in good hands. As long as I see hearts, I'm on the right path. Saint-Pierre. That was quite a climb in the rain. Climbing in the rain gear, super hot, super hot. This is the Camino in the rain. When you're walking for hours in the weather like this, so far it's been 3. Everything is happening in your head. You go from loving it to hating it to loving it again. The rain is very cleansing. And it's actually very therapeutic. It is incredibly challenging to walk like this in the mud. This is actually a good part. There's been way more difficult. It's a battle with yourself at first. Then at some point you just surrender and you accept, because it is what it is. And you can do nothing about it. And then the miracle happens and you start getting answers to your questions. And this is so powerful. Acceptance, being able to surrender. Being able to say, just guide me. I am here because I need to be here. So guide me. It is very powerful. It is very liberating. Anyways, stay dry, stay safe. I don't know how to show you the difficulty of it, but trust me, this is something.
I remember this day as one of the most challenging days on this Camino. Despite being a relatively short day in terms of kilometers, it was incredibly tough. The path was difficult with constant climbing and descending. It was slippery, muddy, and dangerous. And it was that type of a day when no matter how well you try to protect yourself, there's just no way to stay dry. And that day there was no shelter anywhere on the road, no place to pause, warm up, or grab a coffee. So you're forced to keep going, But here's the catch. You can't go too fast because the next gîte doesn't open until 4 p.m. So you have no choice but to spend your entire day walking in the rain. At some point toward the last stretch of the day, maybe the last 5 kilometers, we were walking on this beautiful road, and then the Camino was taking us back through the woods. And the path looked steep, muddy, and honestly, I was just exhausted. So I checked my maps and I decided to stay on this road. So basically, I took a detour.
So on the Camino, sometimes you take detours, and you're allowed to take detours. Do what you can. Do what you need to do for yourself to actually arrive where you need to arrive. There is no right or wrong. You make your own way. It's so nice. It's as if it didn't even rain. It's as if we didn't even walk for 4 hours in the rain, in the mud.
Pour les, il avait un gant d'une épaisseur. Ah bah dit au mieux, c'est comme les oursins, c'est pareil.
My day 8 starts with checking if my shoes have dried overnight, and then after breakfast I'm taking a leisurely stroll around Saint-Côme-d'Olt. Yesterday, since it was raining and my shoes were all wet, we didn't have a chance to go and enjoy this beautiful village, so today we are taking this opportunity. One of the village's most remarkable features is this church, renowned for its twisted flamed spire, a rare architectural phenomenon that adds a unique character to the skyline. Given the previous day's downpour, I anticipated that the initial stretch of the Camino, which leads through woods, would be muddy and slippery. And to preserve the dryness of my shoes and to ensure a good day, I opted to take a detour, much like I did yesterday. And the first part of my detour was super fun. It was leading me through like a residential area, but then it got too close to the traffic. And the traffic was a bit too close, so I wouldn't recommend taking a detour if you don't need to. However, today prioritizing my dry feet seemed the wisest choice. And this is another lesson of the Camino, to be flexible and adaptable. And you just create your own Camino after all.
This is a nice town of Espalion. Very old.
Another medieval town on the way, Espalion. This place is so full of history and you can feel it the moment you step in. One of the highlights here is the old stone bridge, the Pont Vieux, which crosses the Lot River. And it's not just any bridge, it's actually a UNESCO World Heritage Site because it's part of the Camino de Santiago. How cool is that? Now I was lucky enough to arrive on a market day, and let me tell you, the town was buzzing. The streets were packed with stalls and people, the smell of fresh produce and baked goods was everywhere, and the colors just so vibrant. It's like the whole town came alive. I stopped for a coffee and croissant, obviously, because how could I not? I also grabbed some provisions for the road. Market days are honestly the best for that. And after a little break, it was time to get back on the Camino. followed the road, the beautiful road, and then suddenly this gem, this old Romanesque church, which name I won't be able to pronounce, is a true hidden treasure on the Camino. What makes it unique is its upper chapel, which is tucked away in the bell tower, a fascinating feature you won't find just anywhere. The stone carvings and the serene atmosphere make it feel like stepping back in time. For me, this wasn't just another church. The moment I walked in, I felt it. The kind of energy that's hard to explain but impossible to ignore. It was as if this place held something sacred, not just in its history, but in its essence. I stayed for a while, praying and reflecting, and it became one of the most meaningful moments of my Camino. Sometimes you find a place that feels like it was meant for you, a place of power, of connection, of stillness. When you travel a lot, you start to notice the different energies of places. Some feel ordinary, while others, like this one, feel extraordinary. What about you? Have you ever been somewhere that left a mark on your soul? Maybe on the Camino or somewhere else? Share your story in the comments. I'd love to hear about your special places.
And today I see a heart like this.
One of the beautiful traditions on the Camino is carrying a stone with you. This stone represents something you're ready to let go of, whether it's a fear, a burden, or even a part of your past. Some pilgrims carry it all the way to the end of their Camino, while others find the right moment and place along the way. And here is my friend, someone I met on this journey, having his own special moment of release. Something happened during his Camino, something shifted, and he realized that this was the time and this was the place to let go of what this stone represented. He chose to drop it in the water, letting the current carry it away. And watching this, I couldn't help but feel the power of the moment. It's not just about letting go of a stone, it's about releasing the weight you've been carrying, both physically and emotionally. The Camino has a way of giving you these moments where the right place and the right time come together, and you just know. Have you ever had a moment like that, where you let go of something heavy, whether literally or metaphorically? Maybe you've experienced it on the Camino or in your everyday life. Again, share your story in the comments. I'd love to hear that.
Very beautiful Estang. Just across the bridge, our gîte. Very beautiful. Oh wow. I'm impressed. Really impressed.